In this video, I'm gonna talk about how to spot delays in your project plan, but also how can you avoid them. This video is part of our effort to provide the best possible training around Jira, Confluence and whole Atlassian ecosystem. If you would like to support us, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, and remember, you can always reach out to us for paid services like consultations, trainings and implementations. Okay, so let's jump right into the tool. So you can see over here that I have created my box, which basically represent my project. And I have a plan over here, so I have tasks planned in the timeline linked with dependencies. So this is basically waterfall plan, right? I'm not doing anything agile over here, although all the features that I will be showing you would also work for agile with a proper configuration. So if your iterations would be represented in BigPicture as sub boxes, it would work. Okay, yeah, but let's jump right into the topic. How can we spot delays? And next step, how can we avoid them? So if you have any idea of BigPicture, you may know this feature, the first one that I will be showing to you, and it's pretty straightforward, right? We have over here in view menu, overdue option. If I select that, you will see that all the tasks for which end date was in the past and for which status is not yet closed, so you see basically for which status category is not done, they will be highlighted red and number will appear over here with information how many days this task is delayed, right? So you can see that this is in progress. So it should be done because end date is in the past. We have today marker over here. It wasn't closed yet, so it is delayed by 14 days. If I change status over here, so I will quickly go to done, this stops being overdue. So this is the first and simplest way. Looking at this like that is not the most convenient, as basically it's hard to see everything that is delayed, right? This case is not a greatest example because due to this dependency, if this task, or actually if this task was not yet done, this shouldn't also be done, or it shouldn't be even started. But anyway, the highlight is here, so we are able to see the task. We can zoom out to see my whole timeline, all the dependencies, all the tasks, and see what is delayed. But there is also a more convenient way to see all the tasks that are delayed based on this criteria, and this is info bar. So over here, if we go to info bar, there is section overdue tasks, and we have list of all the overdue tasks with information what was the planned end date and how many days these tasks are overdue. All right, but that feature shows us that the task is delayed when it's delayed, right? So it's actually already too late to do something about that. You can try to fix things, but still you already delayed something. We may want to avoid that kind of situation and try to address possible delay in delivery of a task before it really happens. So this feature will not help us with that. But there are two ways in BigPicture to actually do that. So first I will go to resource module. So this is the task that is planned for the period of time for which also today falls. And you can see that it has some estimate. I think it is estimated for 5 weeks in original estimate. So the estimate is spread over several weeks. Each day has like 7.4 hours of work planned. But this is according to original estimate. It doesn't track actual execution, it is just for planning, right? So in the past, we are today here, in the past we can see that there is 7.44 hours planned, but we do not know what was actually delivered. But we can go over here and switch to remaining estimate mode, and let's see what happens. Okay, something changed, right? So we can see that in the past from green we went into, from yellow we went into green, and in the future red. So basically we are over allocated on this resource in the future. Why? The remaining estimate effort mode works or spreads work in two ways. In the past, it spreads over time that was logged on issue, and in future, remaining estimate. So let's have a look over here. So remaining estimate is 4 weeks, logged work is 1 week. So basically what now happened is this 1 week was spread over all the days for which the task was planned in the past, and remaining estimate is 4 weeks in the future. What does it tell us? It tells us the fact that we went over here to red tells us that probably more work, or not probably, more work has to be done than we initially planned in this period. This might be due to several reasons. Maybe first of all, someone did not do enough work in the past, and it is the case over here, right? So someone should do like, I don't know, probably 2 weeks of work, but they logged only 1 week. So they were kind of being a bit lazy, or maybe they had other more important things to do in the past. Therefore, remaining estimate was not decreased as much as it should, and whole remaining estimate was spread over the future days. We over allocate resource, right? So this, the fact that over here in original estimate we were yellow and now we are red, is an indicator that something is not right with this task. We can try to address this somehow. How? Well, maybe we need to reassign the task to someone else, someone who has more capacity. Or maybe we need to replan the task and make it longer so that the workload remaining estimate is spread over more days. It will delay. Will it delay our project? Maybe, but we will do this in an aware fashion. We will be aware what will be the implications of this delay, right? Maybe this is the situation where we can ask another person to support this one and basically deliver this work properly. So you can see that from day to day this number will change, and I will simulate the change of a date by moving the issue in a moment. And you will see that numbers over here change, or maybe I'll try to do this now. So if we would have more days in the future planned, so I will move the task around to simulate, you know, flow of time. And let's say that still no work was logged, but we should be further on the timeline in execution of a task. These numbers will change. So we have the same remaining estimate divided over a smaller amount of days. Or on the other hand, if we would spot the problem earlier, maybe it wouldn't be at red, right? So we would see over here somewhere that, okay, we are 8.0 hours a day to be delivered. So it's getting a bit risky. Maybe we should talk to the person and see what is happening. Maybe they had some other important issues to work on. Maybe they just, forgot to log their work, and they will do that. They will log additional day or two, and suddenly numbers in the past increases and in the future decreases. We are again not on the red over here. So you can already see that these red numbers in over here, when we are in the remaining estimated effort mode, can give us information that something is at risk of being delayed before actually end date approaches us and hits us in the face. The one issue with this, in my experience, is that users need to log their work on a regular basis. This is very often a problem because a lot of time users are working their work at the end of a week. Some companies do not log their work in Jira at all. So this is something to be aware. If you want to use this feature, and I think it's a great feature, you need to make sure that people are logging work. Okay, so let's look at the last feature that allows us to identify possible delay before it really happens. We'll return to Gantt for that. Let's collapse the info bar. And over here, again, in the view option, we have possibility of displaying progress. So I will enable that and I will zoom in a bit. So right now, just for clarity, I'll also remove overdue. Right now, on the bar of the task, you can see that part of this task is kind of darker. This indicates the progress. So for me, the progress is synced with this field, with the progress field. It is pretty basic. I can just set it manually. And you will see that each time I change that, the bar on the task changes. So I did this so that it can be edited manually for the purpose of the presentation over here. But you could do that based on the time tracking. So, you know, if we have estimated time is being logged, the moment it reaches 100%, we would have 100% over here on the bar. If you would have estimate of 2 weeks, remaining estimate would be 1 week and logged work would be 1 week, we would have 50% over here. So this is something that can actually be set in the general configuration. I'll show you at the closer to the end of this video where can we change that. But for now, let's look at what possibilities does it give us. So you can see over here that we have marker for today. And we have task represented on the timeline. So over here, you can see that with 50%, the progress bar is actually more in the future than our today bar. So it basically overtook it. This means that we are well ahead of schedule when it comes to delivery of this particular task. And probably we are safe. But if we would have over here 10%, yeah, you can see that we delivered only 1/10 of a task, while we should be somewhere in I think around the third or maybe 25%. So we're falling behind in delivery of this task. So this is pretty simple way to present whether we are okay with the task or not. Obviously, in that kind of situation, we should start being interested into what is happening to this task. But I find it very nice visual representation of the progress and of the status of the task. And I do not mean the Jira status, but the status of a delivery of the task. Okay, before we finish, let's quickly look where to set this value. So we'll go into app settings. This is BigPicture app, so you require BigPicture admin permission to go here and general. And over here, you can see that there is a progress setting, so you can pick different fields. So you can pick just a number field and you set these values manually. This is completely feasible. We've had customers who want to indicate the progress on the task manually instead of relying on time tracking because, for example, they are not tracking work or for some reason they do not find that reliable enough. Or you can look at the time spent and time tracking in general. So basically progress bar will be displayed based on time tracking information and based on estimates. All right, hope you found this one useful. If you have any kind of use cases that you do not know how to address, not only in BigPicture, but also in Jira, in Structure, feel free to reach out to us. We have very, very broad experience in variety of use cases. So I'm sure we'll be able to help. And yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.